In part 4 on my series of digital reading, I want to talk to you about lateral reading and what that means for our students as digital readers in a testing environment. Lateral reading is most often known as the process of reading across texts to check the validity of a source. It's used by fact checkers and promoted by places like Chegg. In the Teach Thought article, The Difference Between Lateral Reading and Vertical Reading, author Terry Heck says, most commonly, lateral reading would mean opening up a new tab on your browser and searching for related data in your go-to search engine. After verifying, refuting, or otherwise contextualizing the data in question, you'd return to the original text and continue reading. In the article, Learning to Slow Down and Fact Check by Andrew K. Miller states that lateral reading supports core digital skills and involves people slowing down their review of information presented to them, investigating the source more deeply, and considering other sources on the topic. Reading supports core digital skills, and you can get a deep dive in the topic from Crash Course and John Green's video. Check yourself with lateral reading. While lateral reading is typically used in research and by fact checkers, you're going to find this format in the educational testing world, where it's used to organize different passages or texts to encourage students to synthesize information across sources and to answer questions more analytically. You'll find this in tools like Schoology, TestNav, and Pair Assessment. Our students would benefit from direct instruction in lateral thinking across all disciplines. Students need to learn how to identify when they're using lateral reading just for fact checking and when they're using it in order to compare information to answer a question. Both of these strategies require students to deal with multiple tabs and information in a lot of quantity. They also need to learn how to quickly and efficiently determine what their information need is and how that information might be used. As a scaffold for teaching students how to deal with multiple texts, teachers can design lessons that include multiple sources of information that students have to read across tabs. They could also design lessons where they choose the texts and then provide students with practice in a tool like Schoology or Pair Assessment. As a scaffold, you're going to want to create a template that students can use to take notes, especially when you're going to be dealing with multiple sources. Something like a comparison matrix will work great for this. In some of our upcoming videos, we'll talk about those tools that would be useful, and I'll even share a sample graphic organizer that you might use.